Hello, my name is Uriel Garcilaso and I'm going to show you how to parse the WorldSpider catalog. In particular, I'm going to show you how to extract information out of the family page of a particular group of spiders and then transform that into an Excel table that can be used in order to construct pivot tables and extract the statistics on the number of species for the different genera, how many genera are located within the family, and where are these genera distributed. So the first thing that we need to keep in mind is that this script runs on Python. So it's important that you have a version that is more recent than the version 2.7. And it's because the two versions, 2.7 and beyond, are very different in terms of syntax. The second thing is that you need to have installed a module called pandas. So if you use Anaconda, I suggest that you create a new environment and you install the module there. If you already have an environment with the module pandas, then it's not really necessary to create a new environment for this particular script. So what we do is go into the WorldSpider catalog and then go into the families list. From there, we just pick any family that we want. And in my case, I am gonna pick Araneidae. So I click on the link, and it shows me the HTML file with the information on the species that belong to this family. So I scroll down until I'm able to see the elephant logo from the Natural History Museum of Bern, just to make sure that I get the whole HTML page, and then I can press Ctrl A in Windows or Command A in Mac and then copy everything. I move then to my preferred text editor and then I just paste it. So we're gonna save this in the same folder that contains the script. The name of the file doesn't matter, as long as it's a txt file and it's not named output. But I recommend to stay consistent and then name it with the name of the family that it contains. So in my case, I am naming it Araneidae. I already had a file with that name, but I'm overwriting it. And then I can proceed to run the script. To run the script, I simply double click on the main.py file, and then after a while we're gonna see a new file called output.txt. If I open this file, I'm gonna see a table that is tab delimited. I can simply copy the whole table and then create a new Excel file. Here I can just paste it, and here we can more clearly see the different columns. So genera is the first column, and this is the genera that to which each of the species in the second column belong. Together they give the third column, which is the scientific name for the species, genus plus a specific epithet. Then the author, the year, and the authority, which is a composite of author and year. So if you notice, there are some parentheses here. These are parsonyms. These are species that were originally described in genera that were then transferred to different ones. We have the authority reflecting this change here, and then the next column is the type. So the type is going to have this column is going to show an asterisk for those species that represent the type species of the genus. For example, for Acacia, the type species is Hamata. Then we have sex that was described for each of these species, and finally the distribution. The condiz column is part of a different script, and I should have erased it in future in future versions of the script. I'm just gonna erase it. But with this information, we can create pivot tables. With these pivot tables, now I can filter information and get statistics on the taxonomy of the family. The most simple one, perhaps the one that interests people the most, is how many species there are for genera. So I can put genera in the rows, and then I can put a species in values, and then I'm gonna get a count on the number of species for each genus. With this information, I can very quickly and very easily filter which of the genera are the ones that have a higher number of species. In this case, Araneus. A second thing that we can do with this is give information on the distribution of the different genera. For this, I can take the information on this, our last column, and then I just plot it beneath the genus. And then I have the following information. For example, Acacia is an American genus, and we see information on the total distribution. It also works the other way, by filtering first on distribution and then in genera. And this is useful in cases when we want to make bibliographic revision on the number of species that live in a country. For example, Mexico, we have the genus Acanthoptera, and something that is important to keep in mind is that there are multiple entries for Mexico, so we need to do a find into the Excel table. So we have all these entries. Here we have Mexico, and we have the following genera. We can expand this search by adding also the number of species, and then we go back to the list of Mexico. So here is the genus Araneus, and finally we have the species. We also add the authority to know who described this species and when, making easier the process of searching in the literature, right? So here we can see a clear pattern on who described the most species of Araneidae of the genus Araneus in Mexico. So that's it. I hope that it's useful for you. If you have any comments, please comment them in my repository. It's public. Everybody can use it. And if you run into any issues, just let me know and we can troubleshoot it together.